know you're busy. You're in the bubble.
Yeah.
You covered some fights yesterday, and then 2 days before. Tell us a little bit about that experience being in there.
Yeah, it's an experience, brother. It's we've all seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Shawshank, this is the boxing version of Shawshank Redemption for Mike Basil and myself, the two cutmen that Top Rank brought in, because we're literally on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or at least I check in Sunday night. I get tested and I go straight to my room, and I can't leave my room until the next morning. If I don't get a phone call, then I'm cleared. If I get a phone call, then that's a negative. So you never want to get that phone call. But the next day, we go down to breakfast, and we got security in the hallways. We're on the 12th floor of the MGM. We're literally away from all the public. The only ones on that 12th floor are the people involved in the boxing, the ESPN people, the Top Rank people, the fighters. But they got security. They have 3 or 4 security guys standing at the lobby by the airport, by the elevators. And whenever we go to the convention center where all the action is at, we have to be escorted up there by the security guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll take us downstairs to the employee elevator, and they'll take us to the van, and the van takes us to the convention center. And there we got to get scanned in, and we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner there.
Okay.
You go back to your room. You got the weigh-ins there. You go to the weigh-ins, you go back to your room. You got the fights. You finish, you go back to your room.
Okay.
But Thursday night is the final. I came home last night, so I'm home today, tomorrow, and then I'll check in again Sunday night. And there are 11 shows, 11 more shows altogether, 13 altogether. But we got 11 more, so I'll be doing this for another month, 5-6 weeks.
Wow.
Collecting that paycheck, huh?
And that's number one, bro. Let me explain. Brad Jacobs, the COO of Top Rank, called me, and he explained the program to me. And of course, I was interested. Of course, the money, because we all had that 2-month, 3-month kind of dead time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fortunate enough, I worked a lot of big fights that kind of helped me. I got a residual check from Creed, so I was okay financially. But nonetheless, you always got to build up your bank account. So when I got the call and I gave them my fees and they accepted, and 13 shows times whatever I asked for, it's not a bad payday. Plus it keeps me in the mix of what's going on. And even more importantly, this is the blueprint for the way boxing is going to be from now till this pandemic ends. So I'm glad to be part of this history with the people from Top Rank and Mike Basil, and so I'm real excited about that. And we just brought in the third cut man, Bob Ware, that is the cut man for Floyd Mayweather. Because what happened is on the first night, they have like 5 fights, but Shakir Stevenson and Jared Anderson are guys that I rapped before, and I worked before with them. So I always work with them. But once the fight started, I got to be at ringside. And these guys come in after the fight started, and I couldn't leave my spot to go wrap their hands. So in doing that, Top Rank brought in the third guy to kind of be a rover. So that's life in the bubble, man. But we're all doing the same thing. We're all doing it for a good cause, and it's part of history, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Nice.
Let me ask you this: did you hesitate a little, given the circumstances, when you received that call, that invitation in a way of working there for ESPN and Top Rank in Las Vegas?
Yeah, that's a good question, man, and nobody's asked that yet. But yeah, of course, whenever you're dealing with a program like this COVID-19, then that's always in the back of your head, and especially at my age. I'm 68 years old. This is the age group that's vulnerable, but it all started, and that's why I guess I have to be apprehensive, because I was in New York. Shakir Stevenson that was March the 12th I got there. He was going to fight on the 14th at the Garden, and we get there, and they say, well, the fights are still on, but there's going to be no audience. I said, all right, well, cool. A payday's a payday. And Friday morning, Colin says the fight's been scratched, and so I had to fly out. But I got to see the strain on these people in New York, just walking around the streets in Manhattan. they all looked just burned out because of the mental thing of what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. So when I got the call, yeah, when he explained to me the safety factors on how everything is being done and how what they call the bubble, where we're all just isolated in one location, then it works out okay for me. And then I get tested on Sunday, and then I get tested again on Wednesday. But, you know, these tests, let them come, because at least I know I'm cleared. And when I come home, like today with my wife, then I know that, you know, we could do things together. But and the same token, if I go out, like I have to go shopping, grocery shopping, I have to be careful. But wear your mask everywhere you go, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you mentioned that this is the blueprint. There's obviously no way of knowing when boxing and the fans will come back. But what do you think is the time frame when they will go back to normality, if at all?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. It'd be at least 6 months, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if this continued up till the start of the new year. You know, this interview I did this morning with OSB University, Amir Abdallah is the one that hooked me up, and they're at Big Bear. Badu Jack and Triple G are in Big Bear getting ready. Well, they're in training now. So I asked them, because I work with both of them, are there any dates available for these guys? And there's no dates set yet. But once again, that's why these promoters right now, it's not so much of getting fights booked, it's more of how they're going to handle it so that everybody could be COVID-free. So like I say, you know, being part of this is the whole world's going to look at it. The whole boxing combat sport industry is going to be looking at the way we're putting things together, and we're doing it the right way.
Nice.
So the process of actually choosing which corner you're going to be in, is that at random?
Yeah, let me tell you how that goes. All right, so Mike Basil and myself, we're kind of like the house fighters that Top Rank brought in. And the reason they brought us in is because you can't have a volume of people. So each fighter is entitled to bring 2 trainers. And usually it's the 2 trainers. And so if they don't have a cut man, then we're available. So they're playing it off, you know, as part of the marketing program. We'll be on stage. They'll introduce us. We'll get off the stage. And once the fighters get on the scale and they weigh themselves, then they flip a coin to see who's the one that's going to draw the envelope. So they got an envelope that has my name and Mike Basil's, kind of like the Academy Awards. So they'll pick one, and whoever.
You already know I'm a fun guy.